Why I can't look at my wedding photos without feeling like I lied to myself? Every time I open my wedding album, I don't see love, I see a version of myself that I created just to make everyone else happy. The smiles, the perfect dress, the vows, all of it feels like a beautifully wrapped lie I sold myself. I grew up in a small Midwestern town where everyone followed the same script: high school sweethearts. College nearby, marriage by your late 20s, and kids soon after. When I met Ryan, he checked every box. Stable job, polite, family-oriented, funny enough to make my parents love him instantly. I remember my mom whispering, "He's the kind of man you marry." And so I did. But here's the truth. I never had that soul-deep, breath-stealing connection people talk about. What I had was comfort, predictability, the kind of affection that felt safe, not electric. But at the time, I told myself that real love was probably just a movie thing, that stability mattered more than butterflies. The months before the wedding were a blur of Pinterest boards, dress fittings, and floral arrangements. Everyone told me how lucky I was. I smiled, nodded, and pretended to believe it. My best friend even asked me, "Do you ever doubt it?" I laughed it off, but inside, I wanted to scream. The night before our wedding, I couldn't sleep. I stared at my reflection in the hotel mirror, wearing my white robe, and whispered, "You're doing the right thing," over and over. Like an affirmation I didn't truly believe, the ceremony itself was perfect. The weather was golden, the music soft and romantic. I remember walking down the aisle and catching Ryan's smile, genuine, steady, full of love. And then I looked out at everyone else. My parents beaming, my friends tearing up. Everyone so sure this was right. So I did what I was supposed to do. I smiled back. But when I look at those photos now, I can see it, the stiffness in my shoulders, the way my eyes don't quite match my smile. There's one photo that breaks me every time. Ryan kissing my forehead while I hold his hand. I look serene, peaceful, but I remember the exact thought I had in that moment. Maybe I can learn to love him the way he deserves. That's not a thought a bride should have on her wedding day. The years that followed were fine, and that's what made it worse. No big fights, no betrayal, just emptiness. He'd talk about our future, about kids, about buying a bigger house, and I'd nod, feeling like an actress in a role I couldn't escape. Then, about a year ago, I met someone at work, not in a romantic way, just someone who made me realize how numb I'd become. We were working late one night, laughing about something stupid, and I felt something inside me spark again. Not desire, but aliveness. I went home that night and sat in my car for 20 minutes, crying, because I finally understood. I built a life that looked perfect from the outside but didn't belong to me. 2 months later, I told Ryan the truth, that he hadn't done anything wrong, but I had. I lied. Not to him, but to myself. He didn't yell. He just looked at me with this heartbreaking mix of confusion and quiet devastation. I still hear his voice. So all this time, it wasn't real? It was real in its own way, but not the way he deserved. We're separated now, and I'm living alone for the first time in years. The wedding photos are still in a box in my closet. Sometimes I take them out, thinking maybe I'll see something different. But all I see is a woman trying to convince herself she's happy because she thought that's what being an adult meant. Maybe one day I'll forgive myself for that. But for now, every photo is a reminder that I once mistook fear for love and built an entire future around it.